my life. I'm looking for you, searching love in your eyes. This is my life. I'm chasing the dream that fade away in the night. I can't follow dreams forever. Just to say them fall apart. We can't.
Good morning, everybody. Wilma, can you hear me? Sorry about the technical difficulty here, getting set up. Good morning, everybody. I'm actually in Glenn and CO's office in Teaneck, New Jersey. I'm actually using CO's phone, hence the dragon emblem in the beginning here. But hey, I'm excited to be on the call with you guys today with all the Empire Builders. We just came off an incredible, 6 months of this year, 7 months of this year, and the growth that's happening right now in the month of August. These are exciting times within the hierarchy, exciting times within the company. And I've never seen the business the way it is right now. We should have a bunch of brand new people on here. We're going to have an overflow of YouTube also. And we've got a bunch of offices that just wrapped up training. And then we have a bunch of offices in the West Coast. They're going to kick off training when we're done here. But excited to be on the call with you guys this morning. For those of you I do not know, my name is Keith Otto. For some of the newer players, I've been with Primerica for 32 years. And I've never been more excited about what we have going on as a company, what we have going on within the hierarchy. It's just absolutely incredible. What I'm going to do as part of today is I'm going to just hit some of the players, the $250,000 earners and above, and go to each one of the players. And they're going to spend 5 minutes with you, and they're going to talk about what they've got going on in their team and what they got happening within their business, and recognize some of the players that have hit milestones. You know, if you look at what's going on during this pandemic, okay, and what's happening within the economy, and there's a lot of things that are unsure right now. There's an election coming up, which we're not going to get political with you. Our politics are Primerica. I heard Peter Schneider say that years ago, and it's so true. But there's a lot of people that are, uncertain with what's going on with the economy. When I look at our business and I look at how successful Primerica is right now, and how profitable Primerica is, and all the new players that are coming on board and what they have to do to build a business, it blows me away. When I look at the Empire Builders, there's a bunch of you on this call right now that got, in the last 7 months, got your RVP promotions. We have people you're going to hear from today that added diamonds, $100,000, $200,000 incomes onto their business. And then we've got other players, which is absolutely incredible. When you look at what's happening in their business, we have people that hit milestones of 500 and 600 and 700,000. You're going to hear from $1 million earners, people that jump 3 diamonds. For the newer people, that means they got a $300,000 pay increase. And some of them got a $300,000 pay increase in 60 days, which blows me away. And so I'm just excited about not just where we're at as a company, where we're at as a team, but more importantly, where we're going. And so I'm going to recognize a bunch of players with some of the top RVPs and some of the top future RVPs, which I'm going to do, which blows me away to look at the numbers. But before we do that, a lot of you just came through your base shop meetings today. And we went through some of the pending events, but think about it. The things that the company has in place, we talk about building a business, building a company within a company, and then looking at all the resources that we have. Like they're going to shut down Universal Studios just for our companies, that we all have a chance to compete. First time we've had a 4-month contest. Usually, folks, it's a 6-month contest. And then we've got the future jerseys have already kicked off. We're up and running with the future jerseys, which is exciting. And then when you look at the bonus, I'm going to share my screen with you if I can. I don't know if I'm going to be able, Wilma, to share my screen. I have my iPad. I'll be able to share. It's linked in here. Never mind. I'm going to see if I could share my screen. I want to kind of show you something which blows me away. When you look at the licensing, a person comes on board, they invest $99 and $25 a month to be part of this great company. I'm going to see if I could share my screen. Check this out. It says host disabled attendee screen sharing. So you got to see, we'll do it again. Still not able to share it. Hold on one second. I'm on CEO's computer. So if you can, still not doing it. I know, Wilma, you got to make me a host with CEOs.
KO, it just said Raquel was the host.
Yeah, you got to make me the host. No, thanks. She did, huh? Okay, sorry, guys. So thank you. I appreciate that. So one of the things you got to look at with respect to, and I'll come back to this in a second, one of the things you got to look at with respect to what's happening within the company is all the resources that we have in place, right? All the resources that you and I have in place to go out there and build our business. And I look at what the company has, a lot of us that came on board, I see a lot of old friends on this call, right? And I see a lot of players that have built businesses early on. And, I think about when we opened up New Jersey or Pennsylvania, when we opened up New York, you look at the resources that are in place for us to build a business. It blows me away to think about what we came from. I was using the example. I spoke to the great Roy Lipson last week. We were chatting on the phone, and he said, I look at our first year when we made $100,000 with the compensation the way it is today, we would have made $300,000 in that same $350,000, almost $400,000 with what we did. When you look at Mika Saunders, just went over $1 million of income. Has been in the business 6 years and 1 month. blows me away to think about that. And then you look at what Chris A. Chung has done and the Rains have done and the Lees, and you look at all the people that hit different milestones in their business, the $1 million earners. But what blows me away, guys, is what we have in place to go out there and build a business and the resources. So I'm going to try to share my screen with you and see if this works. Yes, it does. Check this out. You know, when you look at what the company has in place, check this out. You know, when we live in Florida full time, we're in New Jersey right now. We have an apartment in New York, but we live in Florida full time. And this is the Florida licensing process. Picture this now, you invest $100 and you go onto the Primerica app and you download it, you log in, and all of a sudden they bank $100 for you. They bank $100, and then you do 1 by 1, you get a $300 bonus, 2 by 2, another $300 bonus, and you increase your bonus. But while your licensing process, if you just look at the resources of what we have, when we started, right? If you want to go get your life license on your own, class and books, 219, state application, 183, authorization, life and annuity, right? Fingerprints. When you look at all, it's $1,495 to get your life and securities license. You know, when we got licensed in the state of New Jersey, we paid $95. We called it a hiring pack back then, which is an IBA. And then we paid $170 for licensing school. Then we paid $85 for the state exam. We did that 4 times just to be simple, to make it easy, because it's an even number. And then we paid for our 4-year license, $355 for a 4-year license in the state of New Jersey. Then we had to pay for our securities exam. Well, you know, fast forward now, it's $1,500 in Florida. And every state's a little bit different. Some states are more, some states are less. But $1,500 for you and I to go out there and get our license, which blows me away to think about that, right? And then we've got an opportunity to go out there and explode and grow our business. And so I look at what's happening within the company right now, and I look at the systems that we have in place. And guys, all we've got to do is put a position to go out there and come through the system and build our business and recruit, train, and develop people, but really just follow the system. And I use this example all the time, that you don't have to follow us, but you got to follow the direction that we're going through. And what you're going to see is, if you look at all the panelists that are on, these are all the $100,000 plus earners. We've got a ton of $100,000 plus earners in our organization, right, within the framework of building our Empire Builder team. But it blows me away to look at where the leaders are at right now and the growth that's happening. I'm going to go through some cash flow with you, and I don't have time to go through everybody's cash flow, but this is the last 90 days. The last 90 days. So if you go back and you say May, June, and July, while the country is uncertain, while businesses are shutting down and people are furloughed. I was talking to someone that's going back to work yesterday. They're going back to work on Monday, this day after tomorrow. They've been out of work for almost 4 months right now, yet the bills still come in. People still have to pay for food. People still have expenses, right? Nothing changes. The electric company doesn't call you up. Your phone company doesn't call you up. Your car payments, and don't say, hey, you don't have to worry about the bills. We understand there's a pandemic. And yet that's why the only person that's going to control your income is you. So I just wanted to go through. Now, this is just the players that averaged over $20,000 a month of income for the last 3 months. You look, and I don't have everyone's income on here. Like I see Mike Purnell on here, right? And I see Corey Brown. They're averaging over $20,000 a month of income. But look at these incomes, which blows me away. Doris Chow, $60,000 in the last 3 months, not including August. That's May, June, and July. $60,000. That's over $20,000 a month of income. Cordell Bryant, Alex and Sarah Isaacson, Sheldon and Jeanette Baptiste, they're all over $20,000 of income. $60,000 in the last 90 days. Jim Hicks, Jim and Elite Hicks, $62,000. Maggie and Ralph Padilla, $62,000. This is a 3-month cash flow. This is what people make in a year. They're making in 90 days, which blows me away. Mike and Zenny Aponte, $65,000. Billy and Wendy Bajakin, $69,000. Michael Vicario, $72,000. Diane Triola, $74,000. That's averaging $25,000 a month of income. Eileen and Jimmy, $78,000. Grace June Kim Munley, $83,000. John Piccone, $87,000. That's almost $30,000. That's not just a good month. That's a kick butt quarter. That's $30,000 a month average over the last 90 days. Mervyn and Zulia Boone, $92,000. Matt Marjank and Demosowitz, $92,000. Fritz and Tiki, $100,000. I remember when Fritz and Tiki were not making $100,000 for the year. Now they're making $100,000 a quarter, which blows me away. David and Joyce Kim, $103,000. That's $35,000 of income. Harvey Grahalis, $107,000. Joe and Denise Cardino, $130,000. That's $43,000 a month average. Okay. Roy and Ann Lipson, $48,000 a month average. $150,000 is what they made in the last 90 days. Carlson Sarah Salazar, $163,000. Look forward to seeing you guys later. Ray and Carol Costello made $252,000 average in the last 90 days. That's $84,000 a month of income, average, over $100,000 last month. Glenn and Co. Lee averaged $116,000 a month, right? $350,000 the last 90 days. Tony and Shelly Narain, $408,000, averaging $136,000. And number one in the hierarchy for the last 90 days with $428,000, averaging $142,000. That's Chris Achum and the A-Unit team. And there's a bunch of people, folks. I've got 5 pages of people that made $9,000, $10,000, $11,000. We don't have the time to go through that. And I'm going to recognize in between, I'm going to recognize some of the players also that are doing a kick butt job with premium and recruits. And we have some future RVPs that we want to recognize, future RVPs that are doing RVP numbers, which blows me away. And so I'm excited, guys. I'm excited to kind of cover, and we're going to go to some of the $250,000 earners and above. So what I would like you to do, if you could, when I go to you, and Wilma will unmute you, is just really what I'd love you to do is, if you could, just give a 2-second background of what you used to do for a living, because we got a bunch of new people. I know all the players, but we got a bunch of new people that are on the call this morning that don't know all the players that are on the call with us. And if you could just do me a favor and talk about maybe what you used to do for a living, and highlight, if you're right now in these special times, just take 5 minutes. What are some fundamentals that you would focus on in reference to growing and building your business right now? And what are some things that you have going on, and maybe highlight just a couple of your players, maybe people that hit different milestones in your business, which is exciting. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to head over first, and I'm going to mix it up a little bit, but I wanted to kick it off with David Kim, who's got great stuff happening on his team right now. David and Joyce have hit different milestones. Huge thing about it, haven't been in their office, probably doing meetings full time like they were. We're a totally different kind of a hybrid of what we were doing. And even though we've made changes, business has exploded. So I'm going to pass this over to David Kim.
Excuse me 1 second, Keith. Hello. Hi, how are you? I just need her to make me the co-host.
All right, hold on 1 second.
So she's just going to jump right in there.
Yes, huh? She's here, but she's not jumping right in. Hold on.
Come on, Zio, baby. Help me out.
1 second, Wilma. 1 second. Right there.
Come on, Keith, you can do it, buddy.
Your co-host, Wilma.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, and first of all, Wilma, from now on, don't ever take a vacation while we're doing an Empire Builder conference call. She's not in the office today. And she just did this so she could prove that I need her. It's bullshit. Okay.
Yeah, it's called job security.
That's Seal helping me, and Raquel. So I'm going to turn this over to David Kim. David Kim, can you hear me, my friend?
Yes, good morning. Good morning, Empire Builders. It's lovely to see all the beautiful faces. We're excited about the times that we're in right now. You know, for those of you guys that we're meeting for the first time, my name is David Kim. I have an IT background, you know, and I remember asking Carlos, hey, if someone that has a computer background, information technology, could they do this business? And he's like, sure. And I realized that the person right behind me, because back then Carlos had like 10, 12, 15 guests per op meeting. And I realized the person right behind me, I think he said something like, you know, I have a real estate background. Can someone like me do something like this? And he's like, sure. And I realized he was saying sure to everybody, but you know, that's what Primerica is, you know, and I came into this business not sure that I could do this, but I just took one step after the next. And, you know, I think one of the things that I could attest to, you know, part of our success is we showed up to everything. You know, it was a non-negotiable. Whether Carlos saw me or not, I always showed up. You know, back then, you know, at the New Yorker hotel, it was packed. There were tons of people, tons of guests, tons of people in the training rooms. And I would just kind of sneak in and sneak out, but I came to all the training meetings, every big event. You know, I always say that I could count the number of times in my hand, how many times I've actually missed training. And I've been doing this business for going on 17 years. In 17 years, I know consciously that less than one, in two hands, I can count how many times I've actually missed. There were times that, you know, I wasn't feeling like it. There were times when I, you know, maybe I was ill, but I showed up to everything. So for those of you guys that are looking at this panel, man, look at these guys. I'm just telling you right now, if you want to succeed in a business like this, it's a non-negotiable. And Zoom, I can't understand how people are late on Zoom. I can't understand how people can't make it on training on Zoom. Maybe, you know, they got lost from the kitchen to the living room where their Zoom was, right? But the point is, you know, you can't miss Zoom trainings, or when we start getting together physically, that's like kind of like the ante up. If you've ever played any Texas Hold'em or any poker game, right? That's just to see the next hand. You got to ante up. You got just showing up is to see what the next hand of round is. Now, I just want to recognize some of the guys on our teams that's doing phenomenal. We've got Randy and Diana Rafiq. They're getting ready to get promoted to regional leader. They're on track for the trip. They're on track for the futures. We got Albert and Jen Espinal. These guys are killing it. They're on track for the trip. They're on track for the futures. You know, I look at this business, and when you compare it to a lot of other companies, a lot of other businesses, I think we take it for granted. You know, I was just reading, some of you guys might have heard of, there's a Korean bakery called Paris Bakery. It's right on 32nd Street. And I saw this article. It was just kind of in passing. They were getting sued. The bakery was getting sued because they owe back rent. And I was looking into it. It's like $28,000 a month in rent per month. And they're backed up 3-4 months. And I feel bad because imagine you're the owner of this bakery. You've been doing well for years, and all of a sudden this Corona thing hits, and you can't even get customers inside. Now you're backed up and you're getting sued for back rent. It's crazy. And I also read that all these gym owners are suing Governor Cuomo. They're saying, hey, what the heck? Let us open up our gyms. And imagine if our business, if Primerica business was put in a situation like that, where there are regulations that said, you know what, you can't meet with your clients. You can't meet with the people to do business. You can't do that. Imagine that. And it's crazy to think the kind of business that we're in. We're considered essential workers. And I really think that you see all around us in Primerica, amongst your peers, people just kicking butt because, you know, they're taking advantage of the fact that we can meet with people, you know, and I don't want us to take that for granted. You know, I think we're in incredible times right now. I'm super psyched with the direction of the business, the company. You know, there's a whole new expectation. People go on RVP in 6 months, 8 months. You know, we could do it faster. There's somebody that's going to come in here that's going to blow all records, and we haven't even recruited them yet. There's somebody that's going to come in 90 days and get the ring, and we're going to say, holy smokes, that's possible. It's out there, guys, and I'm super pumped up to be amongst such greatness here. Keith, thank you for the opportunity to speak to the team, and let's go kick butt.
Great message as always, David. I appreciate that. You know, it's crazy. Every time I listen to leaders speak and I hear you speak and you said, oh, I had an IT background, I think about what you'd be doing right now. You'd be sitting behind a computer desk somewhere and maybe in Manhattan or Queens. And what a waste of a talent to here's a person that's going to go take their income to $1 million of income in the next 24 to 36 months. And I'm sitting there thinking about what a waste of a talent, how many people you're influencing in a positive way, not just the money side of our business, but what you've done and what you've created and other leaders that are coming through that. So thanks for that great message. We appreciate what you got going on and excited about the momentum you have happening on your team right now. I'm going to head over from the Queens office to Westchester. And this team's absolutely on fire. I did a Zoom meeting with them not too long ago, and it's exciting to see what they have going on. Just came off their best month, best income month, best premium month, best recruiting month, and the team cash is going through the roof. I'm going to head this over to Mervyn and Zulia Boone. Are you guys on with us?
Hey.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, Empire Builders. How's everybody feeling?
Yeah, feeling good. Hello, Keith. Hello, everyone. We're excited to be here. Thank you so much. My journey here, I was a buyer for Macy's. So for all of you guys who love shopping, I used to pick out the shoes for them. And we're so blessed in the business. Just keep on going, you know, you just got to keep doing it until you get the end result. And I'll let Mervin say what he did before.
So I was the guy that couldn't afford the shoes at Macy's. So I was making $38,000 a year, working customer service for a mortgage company. I didn't sell mortgages, but I got caught up in that industry. And I was invited down by Mike Vicario. You know, he invited me down to office and said, what do you have to lose at the end of the day? So I gave it a shot. And today, I'm proud to say last month we made in 1 month what we used to make in a year. And our team is fired up. They're on the move. We had Andrew Clark last month pre-qualified for regional vice president. We're going to get everything solidified by September. We have Jazz Moore is going to put on her ring in October. Then we have people like Kareem and Shannon will be going out vice president, if not the end of the year, first quarter. And then we got a whole bunch of people coming through the process like Roxanne, Rosie, Yesenia, Marianne, Graciela. People are stepping up, BB, right? New superstars like Saudi and Marlon, power couple working together. I haven't even been in the business 2 weeks and already, you know, recruited about 10 people on their team. So we're excited, Keo. We're excited to be an empire builder and ready to take this to another level.
Well, I appreciate that. What did you make last month in cash flow, bud?
We made 40,000.
And the month before you made 30,000.
Yes,
I
sir.
watched your business. You went 20,000 of cash flow. The next month, 30,000. Next month, 40,000. This month, you make 50 grand. And it's exciting to see that. And I know you got this big smile. You can't say that without smiling. It's just a cool thing. I know money's not everything, but it puts a down payment on a lot of things.
Right.
And it's just exciting to see the growth and how you guys are taking advantage of this. And it's the same thing. What you're doing right now is the same thing that's going to catapult you guys to $1 million in cash flow. Congratulations and great job, buddy. I love it. Stay well. I'm going to head down south a little bit, originally from Queens, but it's expanding in different areas of the country by the capital region. Let me head over to Grace June Kim Munley.
Hi, Keith. What's going on, Empire Builders?
Good morning. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. I am so just honored to represent this hierarchy and our team. I just want to have all our attendees just take 5 seconds to just scroll through the squares that you see. If you're on a cell, obviously you have to swipe. And if you're on a computer, you press the right arrow button. But if you take a look at our hierarchy, guys, I mean, these are the most diverse leaders that you can possibly see.
Sexy? Did you say
and
sexy?
sexy, of course, okay? That you'll ever see. And all of us here come from different walks of life. We represent all different age groups, geography, family upbringing, former professionals. I mean, you can't see a more vast set of diversity here than anywhere else. So I want to challenge you to really take a close look and realize you are at the right place at the right time with the right people. I know some of us have just literally joined us this past week. You are now part of the most profitable business on the face of the planet with the most, the strongest leadership in the entire company, guys. So we need to be so proud of that, and we need to latch onto this thing like never before. I know that Primerica has, if it weren't for Primerica, there's no possible way that I could be where I am today to be able to provide to my family the way that I can. And at a young age, guys, if anyone here is a millennial, I know we're getting a little older, but there's still some 20-somethings and some 30-somethings. We got to do it big before we're 40, right? And get to live life completely on our terms. And in case you guys don't know my background, I did exactly what I was supposed to do back then. You know, the age-old model of going to school, achieving a good degree, graduating with honors, doing the whole 9. And I found out the hard way. Thankfully, Primerica saved me out of that after about 2-3 years being in corporate America, and left corporate America, retired from corporate America, I can say, in 2011. And it's been the best journey ever. I could not possibly have replaced this experience with anything else. It is a complete life-changing experience, and you guys can change your tax bracket numerous times across a very short period of time. And it's absolutely the most just transformative economical vehicle that you could find yourself in. So I just challenge you to focus on the main thing. See, what's very not conventional and what's not standard in everyday life is the thing that generates the most wealth and results in this business, right? Recruiting is not something that people get to do every day. And a lot of times when people come into this business, they think of it as a little bit awkward or something that they're just not used to. I promise you, if you start to understand the system and understand how to recruit some few directs, I started out with very few selection of people. And, you start with a few directs. I know that I learned from Joe. I remember the days in New Yorker where I started my humble beginnings in the business. He talked about doing a 3x3 consistently personal. I said, you know what? As challenging as this feels to me right now, I can live with 3x3. And I followed that model month by month, and eventually that 3 became a double-digit recruiting. And ever since we hit double-digit recruiting, RVP just became a guaranteed next step. And it's just been a consistent process since then. And right now we're just very excited because we have some people who are absolutely committed. Numbers are not as apparent right now, but I know our team is pushing through for us to get to ownership. We're all treating that very personally. I want to give a big shout out to Sherry. She's definitely our right hand. She just completely just sets the tone right now. She is the most kind person and she's a very hard worker. Anybody who's working with her team is absolutely so fortunate. And I'm very lucky as well to represent GKNY. So thank you, Empire Builders. See you guys at the top.
Hey, great message, young lady. Let me ask you one question. 15 seconds. You're brand new right now. You recruit me. I'm a brand new person. The next 30, 60 days, what's the most important thing I should focus on?
The most important thing is to follow the company model. I just love how concise our company model is, which is to get field trained, licensed, and promoted. I mean, that there's no other way around it. And to hit your sprint to district promotion is so easy, guys. 3x3,000. I mean, it can't be. You get a double promotion in your first month of business. So that's what I would say.
Third diamond this month, right?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
I love it. Awesome. Let me head out from Queens to New York or actually you're down south right now, but Queens, New York. Let me head over to Oakland, New Jersey. Mr. Bill Bajakian, you on with us, sir?
Hey, buddy. How are you, Keith?
What's up, buddy?
Hey,
You look like you're in the forest, bud. Where are we at?
I'm in my backyard right now.
Must be nice, huh? Rich or poor, money's a good thing. Tell me about it, buddy.
Hey, I first of all, thanks for hosting this, Keith. I used to be a construction worker. You know that I used to be a union laborer, working in New York City for a long time, and I figured there had to be something better. And your brother Kenny actually introduced me to the business. He said that he said him and Keith. He said me and my brother Keith are working with this guy. And he didn't really even finish saying anything. And I was just hoping he would say something to me about meeting this guy. And I loved Kenny. But so we scheduled a time to go to the op meeting. And I was coaching wrestling, little recreation wrestling at the time. And so I went to the practice to tell the guys I wouldn't be at practice. I was going to go, I had to leave to go somewhere. And Kenny was supposed to meet me at the school and we were going to go up together. And he didn't meet me at the school. And I drove up there and I met you, which I knew you. And it took a while, it took a while for me to get going. It was probably almost.
Hold on. So just so everybody understands, I'm reading through the lines here because I remember this. My brother invited you to an opportunity meeting to take a look at Primerica. He didn't really invite you. He told you where their office was. And you just showed up. And my brother didn't even show up that night. So the person who introduced you to the business bailed out that night.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. I love him.
Crazy.
It's all good. It's all good. And you were there, which we knew each other. And you asked me what I liked. I really wasn't too sure what I liked. I was making some good money, at the time, which I thought was good, good money, as a young kid. And I didn't really want to sell life insurance. I really didn't know anything about life insurance. But you followed up with me, and I think to myself, man, if it was Keith Otto today, you probably wouldn't have followed up with me, as much as much as you did. You used to say I got to bring a key, I'm allowed to bring one key guy. I didn't realize I was the only guy that was in driving distance of you. But you've said something over the years many times that because one of the things you asked is what's one thing that you would tell everybody that's on the phone that's kind of new. You always said you've said two things a lot that always rings in my head. You said borrow our confidence. You used to talk about borrow our confidence, because when you're newer and you don't have the experience and you don't know if this thing's for real or not, like there's nothing about anybody on this phone right now that the people that are that we see pictures of, they know Primerica is real. The other 620 something people on the phone, they don't know Primerica is real yet. So they have to borrow our confidence until they understand how incredible it is. So I always thought that was a key point that you said. And the other thing that you used to say all the time was get some wins under your belt. You got to get some wins under your belt, whatever it is, even if it's just a name and a number, get a win under your belt and you start building on those. It's like, you do one push up, you feel good. Then you do 5 the next day. So the only thing I could add to that is scheduling guests and scheduling appointments. I'm just thinking about all the things that you're a guy of fundamentals, Keith, and you've never gotten off of fundamentals. You've never come up with a new thing or this thing to the left or this thing to the right. It's how many guests do you have scheduled? How many appointments do you have scheduled? So hopefully that helps, guys. I appreciate you guys. I love all you guys on the phone, and I'm going to mute myself now.
I appreciate that, Billy. And what's cool is that background looks real, buddy. It's unbelievable. It's awesome. No, you got a beautiful house, dude. The place looks great. I love it. And you're right. The fundamentals never change. We talked about that today. It's not trying to figure out new things to get creative. I said this today, man. We've got more people making over 100,000, $500,000, $1 million more than any other company in the United States. Then why would we try to do something different than all the leaders? Mika Saunders just went over $1 million. Was 103. Number 100 was Chris H. Chung, you're going to hear from in a little bit. Glenn Lee and Sia were number 99. We got people that are popping through diamond movements and explosive growth, $1 million earners in the company that have built a business. All we've got to do is copy that in this duplicable system. I don't see him on here, but I think he's on. Is Matt Tomasowicz, you on with us, bud?
Give me 1 second. I'll look for him, Keith.
All right, because I have him checked off of my list, but I don't see him when I went across. Let me head over to Harvey Grajales, newest $300,000 earner in the company, in the hierarchy, excuse me, doing an unbelievable job. Business is at an all-time high. Ownership, qualified for our elite team. And because of COVID and Corona, whatever, the Roni, whatever you want to call it, we've had some changes with our travel. But one of the things that we try to do is spend some time. So he is qualified. The reason I'm excited about some of you hitting that next level of the third diamond is Danielle and I had something very cool planned for the $300,000 earners. We're going to have to make that adjustment. And but I think there'll be 3 or 4 more people as soon as this thing loosens up a little bit. We got some great plans to get a chance to get away and trying to figure out, well, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's going to be unbelievable. And so Harvey's qualified for that. Base Shop's on an all-time high right now, putting out RVPs, developing leaders. Harvey Grajales, let it rip, buddy.
Hey, Keith, thanks so much. Wilma, thanks so much for helping out with everything. And good morning to all the Empire Builders. Hey, Keith, man, we've been in this, I've been in America now 12 years, legally. I've been in Primerica now 11 years. And I only had a job, I'm one of the few private that I don't have a GED, high school diploma, don't have a college degree. All I have is a social security number and this life insurance license. And we worked our butt off to get this RVP contract. And it's so amazing to see that, Primerica really, like they say, God delivers, Primerica delivers as well if you do the right work, right? And we just stuck to the fundamentals. Everything that I've learned from coming into one of the meetings. I didn't, none of us, I don't believe any of us come to Primerica with Primerica experience. We might have a little bit of people skills, we might have a little bit of sales skills, but none of us have this Primerica experience. And because of leaders like Chris Achon, because of leaders like Carol and Ray Costello, like Roy Lipson, like yourself, like Glenn and Zio, man, I've learned so much about being able to construct a real a business that will continue to pay our family, whether we're here or we're not. And it's amazing to see that because we've committed to replicate in a system that's been laid down by Primerica. Not only that, we've been able to teach it to a few people, and we've been able to promote, like Hannah and Sherwin to regional vice president, just put on a $100,000 ring in the last 60 days, I believe. We have, Carl and Janelle getting ready to put on another $100,000. You see, it's one thing that we make money, and granted, when you don't have money, that's all that you want to make. But after you're making money, the money doesn't make you happy. And what I found, Keith, is that we have a big sense of value by helping other leaders get themselves in a position where they're now becoming financially independent. So Carl and Janelle on their way there. Rory Williams is also on his way there to putting on a $100,000 ring. But what's even more exciting is the up and coming leaders from our base shop. Check this out, in the last 3 months, we got, I believe one of the closest people to regional vice president, Carissa, with over 52 IBAs. I remember listening to Bob Safford, and he said, if you recruit over 50 people in a 3-month span, you'll be able to find at least one regional vice president. So she's on her way out. We have a Fatima that's going to regional leader this month. That'll be regional vice president by October. Mercedes as well is going to regional leader this month. She has over 44 IBAs in the last 3 months, right? We have also Cami, new leader, right? Just came in during the COVID, right? She has probably over 50,000 in personal premium with 40 recruits that she's done in the last 3 months. And she just got her SIE. We're jacked up about her. We also have, the builder of all builders on our team, Hassani, right? Who's responsible for Hannah and Carl and Janelle. He's just, leveled that at division, but he also has over 44 plus recruits in the last 3 months. And Garfield, another regional, getting ready to pop out for regional vice president. And last but not least, I believe he'll be one of the biggest. We have Adarimi as well, that's a regional leader getting ready to go out to regional vice president. I don't try to reinvent the wheel. I just really just stay in alignment. We try to stay in alignment with what our upline has going on, with what the company has going on, and what you put out there for us, Keith. And we thank you so much for that. If I can give any new advice to the newest person on the call, this is the blueprint is already made. Primerica has thousands of people that have become financially independent. And if you really just study them and plug into the system on Primerica Online, I believe field training is one of the most important things you can do. Get out there and learn how to become successful and learn the things that are not going to work for you, and then just implement a lot of action behind it. But we're so thankful. We're on our way to 400,000 in income and looking to finish up by 600,000 in income, cash, American currency by the time December is over. We're so proud to be an Empire Builder. Thank you so much for having this call, this hierarchy call this morning.
Hey, for those people that are new, you said cash currency, and then you also mentioned you were here illegally. I don't want to know how long you were here illegally, but in December in 2019, when you look at your rolling 12 income, what was your rolling 12 income when we ended the year last year?
My rolling 12 income when we finished up last year was 240.
240, and you'll finish up this year at 600.
Yes.
That's crazy, crazy, crazy growth. That's 3 times. I said this on the RVP conference call, and this is not me bragging. This is because of the system, and this is what's in place. In December 2019, our rolling 12 income, right? And you look at what our rolling 12 income is now, 7 months later, our income's up 700,000 in 7 months. That's $100,000 a month, not $100,000 a month, $100,000 a month increase. And there's a bunch of you on the phone that are going to do the same exact thing. And so the days are done where you're making 100. You say, I want to try to get my second diamond next year at the convention. The days are happening right now where some of you are going to add 1, 2, 3 diamonds within 60, 90, 120 days. Thanks for being an awesome example, brother. You're doing a kick butt job. I love it.
Thank you.
Let me head over to Superstar, building a huge hierarchy. Team is absolutely on fire. Love talking to him. Talk about, Billy was talking about staying consistent. This guy does not get off track, and that is the great Roy Lipson. Roy, you on with us? There you are, bud.
I am definitely on with you, my friend. Thank you so much for doing this. Thank you, all the Empire Builders, for plugging in. I think that first of all, Keith, I came here, I had my own law practice for 10 years before I saw this, and Joe Cardino brought me to a meeting and has led the way. We did a managers meeting together on Monday. It was awesome, man. What an incredible guy. But the truth is, I saw you closed that meeting, by the way. And what I saw intrigued me because this was different than practicing law. Practicing law, if I didn't go to work, I didn't get paid. But you talked about recurring income and building a company within a company. And I'm really thankful that I was dumb enough to believe you guys. So this is definitely better than practicing law. Just real quick, we had a couple of people that are cranking right now. I'm excited about Julio Soto and Ira McSweeney and Maria Marino last month did over 10,000 personal premium. She's rocking and rolling. Suzette Rivera in our base shop she's very consistent. Jasmine also consistent in what they're doing, consistently working on building a company within a company. But the truth is we have so many of our leaders that are hitting milestones, going over 50,000 and 100,000 and millions. It's crazy. I mean, I can't even name these guys because it would just it's you're going through them for me, which I think I appreciate. But the truth of the matter is, you said what one thing could we share with people, and it's really this, and Harvey talked about it a second ago. Fritz and Tiki were on a call the other day. We did something with Mervin. I mean, I look at Jenny Escobar lit a fire under some people in our base shop, and I look around what's going on in this company, and there's a common denominator, and Billy kind of hit on it. It's listen to your regional vice president. Joe Enser shared with us years ago, he said, with all the things you have and the success that you have and the cars and the boats and the this, and what is the one thing that you wish more people would do? And he said, I wish more people would listen to me. And I can tell you that every person, whether you're going to hear from your vice president today or not, whether they're on this panel or not, your vice president is a vice president for a reason, and you should listen to them because they know how to help you. They have a financial interest in your success. And so, the thing I'd share with you is this, Keith. I hated what I was doing for a living. So instead of trying to poke holes in what Joe Enser was saying, instead of trying to poke holes in what you share with me, instead of trying to poke holes in what Joe Cardino was sharing with me, just look for the good in your vice president and listen to them. Stop trying to be smarter than your vice president. Stop trying to be smarter than this opportunity, and just kind of, like Grace said, plug in, go with the flow, and allow Primerica, allow the Empire Builders, allow your vice president, allow the system to build a business with you and for you, and you'll have something. It'll get bigger, faster, and be stronger than anything you could ever do by yourself. So stop trying to buck the system and hop in the boat, man, hop in the roller coaster, and let's go for a friggin' ride. That's my best answer, man.
I love it, my man. I love it. Great message, Roy. And, it all comes down to, you said the bottom line is, or the number one common denominator is, and I believe it's time, right? It's time. If you want to get your life license, you got to put time in. If you want to get your securities license, Harvey talked about the SIE and people passing their tests. What does that take? It takes time. If you want to get good at prospecting, it takes time. If you want to get good, I see Eddie Austin there. Him and I played golf last week, right? If you want to hit the ball 300 yards like Eddie Austin, you got to put time in, right? If you want to get good at anything, you got to put time in, right? If you want to close business, or if you want to recruit directs, or you want to get overpaid, you got to put time in. And all these leaders right now on this phone have put time in. Like you mentioned Jenny Escobar, who's absolutely killing it right now. Why? Because she's putting more time into her business. I look at Ted and Tracy. They're killing it right now. Just came off their best month. Why? Because they're putting more time into the business. What this Zoom thing has allowed us to do is condense time frames. But the reason that some of the players on this phone are building huge lumps, but I'm not putting more time in my Primerica business, but there's more time being put in our Primerica business. That's the effects of compounding efforts, right? And so everybody who wants to grow their business, the number one word, if you give me one word, Keith, what would it be? It's time. Time is going to help or hurt you in this business. You and I have got to put time into this business. You want to take your business to the next level. It's time. I look at what's happening with H-Chunk's team right now, which is ridiculous. The CEOs, the Narains. I was with the Narain builders last week. All their new players. There was people going to get promoted I never even freaking heard of before that are double digit 20 kids that look like they're 15 years old are doing 20 by 20. It's just crazy to see the growth. What are they doing? They're putting time into the business, right? And I want to go to the next player who's got great stuff happening in his business right now, but always worked hard in this business and put time in. From South Jersey, living in South Jersey now, that is the great Michael Purnell. Mike, can you unmute yourself and tell us what we got going on, my friend?
Hey, KO, thank you. Good morning, Empire Builders. Used to be a construction.
You're on mute, Michael.
Good? Okay. Good morning, Empire Builders. Thank you, KO. Thank you, Wilma. I know she's down in Wildwood enjoying her vacay. I used to be working in construction, doing framing, and I was a waiter part-time in the Sheraton Hotel, Newark Airport. Saw the business. I was 20 years old and decided to get involved in the business. Came down to Sea Caucus, saw Joe Enser's meeting, and basically started working the business. The times we're in now, guys, it's just an opportunity where, like Keith just said, to condense time frames and just get the business rocking and rolling. And the things I would leave with some of the new folks that are on the phone right now is that we got to get mentally tough, turn the ears off of the negative people, put the ears on to the positive people that are going to help you in the business to get you to the next level, self-improve. So tons of ways to different self-improve, videos you could get on YouTube in the morning, get into believing in what you can do. So people don't take away that dream from you of winning in this business, because they're going to try every day. And the last one would be learn the business. You know, on Wednesday night, I just went over the different ways to learn the business that we're in, because once you learn this business, you'll be very competent and competent at it. And that's when the magic starts to happen. You listen to Harvey that is going from 200,000 to 600,000. And he was always a student, always fired up, jacked up on stage, and being excited is going to be one of the main important things for you to win here. So learn the business, get on POL, learn the business, meetings, your uplines, and don't let nobody take away from you what you're trying to do and the excitement you have from seeing this opportunity, and just keep pushing forward and listen to your uplines, and magical things will happen to you. Yeah,
I love that, man. Great message, dude. And I just remember watching you early on. We had the Buyer's Guide to Life Insurance, which I did a training not too long ago, which I saw how you use that to prospect. I watched you go out there with the Common Sense books, which is now How to Win the Money Game, right? Or How Money Works, to go out there and create activity. Always put in, and what you've done is you've created an environment and a system where you've got a duplicable system right now. But self-improvement, I've always watched you work hard, but you worked hard when you were in construction on top of a roof, right? Just a different vehicle. Love what you got going on right now, buddy. Keep it rocking. It's time now to get to more diamonds in that puppy too, which is exciting. I look forward to it. A team that's absolutely on fire, which I want to head over to, heading out on the island, out in Long Island. His team, think about it, man. They haven't been to their office. He's got a bunch of leaders that are absolutely killing it. One of the biggest growths that's happening in the Empire Builders right now is the Cardino Crusader team. So I'm going to head over to Mr. Joseph Cardino.
Hello, Keith. You guys got me?
Got you, buddy. Oh, you're at Universal Studios. I love it.
Yeah, I figured I'd check it out first. I'm doing some promos for the company trip. But I just want to start off by thanking our team. I'll start with my upline, Keith. You've been an incredible leader, friend, example of winning, and just really deliver all the time. You and Danielle have been an unbelievable team to follow. And we do have I want to thank the Crusader RVP team. You heard a lot of them mentioned already. But I know Jenny Escobar, Maggie Padilla, Steve Rizza, Pat Slant, they're all on track to get another diamond before the end of the year. We have people in our base shop that are killing it right now. We have a couple of couples coming through the ranks. Tanya Bonham is Bowie and Julie and Christian Rincon. And we got people like SP Devicara, Martin Morales knocking on the door, RVP as regional leaders right now. But I wanted to talk a little bit about to the new people. And You know, I did a really good managers meeting with, we had a great time with Roy. We talked about the early days. What I realized today is all the guys wearing glasses today. When I met you, none of us wore glasses. It just shows how long it's been. And everybody's got their glasses on looking at the computer. But there's three things I want to talk to the new people about. One is you see some of the people speaking today, the results that they're getting, how well they sound on screen, the numbers that they put up. It seems like overwhelming. You're looking at the finished product. You're looking at people who for 20 or 25 or 15 years have been working out in the gym mentally, you know, at the Primerica gym, have been studying, self-improving, speaking every single day. Don't think you have to be like them. If you would have seen what a lot of us look like in the very beginning, you would have said, I could do that, right? Because you don't have to be like us. You got to be like we were when we got started, just willing to learn, willing to have a good attitude. I remember after a couple of meetings, I was bringing a lot of people, and Joe said to me, listen, I want you to introduce the opportunity meeting. All you have to do is say, welcome, my name is Joe Cardino, welcome to Primerica, and the first speaker is. And I was really nervous. I've been in front of juries before, but this was like 150 people. You know, usually in the courtroom, there's 20 or 30 people at the most. There's 150 people. It wasn't my normal thing. And I got up there, I said, hi, my name is Primerica, welcome to Joe Cardino, and the first speaker is, and I realized the wrong words came out of my mouth. And when I was done, I ran out in the hallway. I was about ready to cry, and Joe came out. I thought he was going to yell at me, and he put his arm around me. He goes, oh my God, you're a natural. You just, I said, Joe, I said all the wrong stuff. He goes, nobody even noticed. You just had a presence. I'm like, you think really? I think I did good. And he goes, absolutely, you were phenomenal. And he took me from, you know, thinking that I just blew my whole opportunity to making me feel better. I remember coming home, my wife goes, how was the meeting? I go, I spoke tonight at the meeting. I was really like I was a big shot, but I had screwed the whole thing up. And a lot of us, we learned that way through trial and error. We didn't have Primerica Online to teach you. We didn't have the Zoom. We didn't have GPS. We didn't have cell phone. We didn't have all these things that makes it easier to win today. And so first of all, stop comparing yourself to the people here. You can never be like that. If you get on board here, you will turn into better leaders than we are. You'll make more money than we do, and you'll have better times than us. The second thing I want to talk about is we are in great times right now. It is everywhere I turn about, companies are going out of business, restaurants are closing up, people are getting laid off, business owners are getting crushed. They can't pay our incomes are going up. Is that just, forget about, we're not just staying the same. Our incomes are going up, and not a little. This is the greatest growth I've ever experienced here at Primerica, and the company's ever experienced since I've been here. It's unbelievable. People need us now more than ever, and our opportunity looks better and better. You can work from home, work part-time, continue your thing. If you're we have RVPs who are stay-at-home moms with single moms with children, and they're able to compete at a very high level along the way. So it's unbelievable that when the whole world is crashing around us, our company is the beacon of all companies. I don't know, other than like DoorDash and Uber Eats, I don't know what other companies now are doing as well as we're doing right now. And the third thing is they've kind of perfected the system. I mean, it's not perfect, but from where we were 25 years ago and how we had to submit applications and how we couldn't get information and how we couldn't learn. And now on POL, you could get any kind of training, audio, video, every format. Everything we do is on Turbo Apps. It's just everything is made simple. They send out emails for us to our own client. They do our follow-up for us to our client by sending emails, by sending newsletters. It's just an incredible company right now. And I'm letting you know if that just go for it. We didn't make a lot of money in our first year. Nobody here on this really made a lot of money. It's about the outcome, not the income. You go to college for 4 years, spend a couple $100,000, hoping to get a job at the very end. Here, you'll make money along that way. It's a 5-year game plan to become financially independent. When do you measure the results of a 5-year game plan? In 5 years. There's people on his phone now that make more money in a month than they did the first 4 years combined. And it's continuing to grow. It's unbelievable. This is the place you really want to be. I can't understand how people can look at this opportunity and not jump all over. There's no downside at all. There's no downside. And there's a lot of things that doesn't even get measured in addition to the compensation and the trips and stuff like that. There's a certain brotherhood, a camaraderie around the people on here. This is truly one big family. And Keith, I think a lot of that goes up to the way you lead our team. I'm grateful to be an Empire Builder. I'm grateful to be a Crusader. And I'm grateful to be all your partners and be part of this great, unbelievable team. So thank you, everybody.
I think about that. You mentioned Joe Enser, which is crazy. What year did you join Primerica, bud?
1993.
Okay, so I joined in 1987, and Joe Enser was making $600,000. In 1993, when you joined, Joe Enser was making $600,000.
That's correct.
And his business was growing, his recruiting was growing, his premium was growing, securities, we expanded into the state of New York, and his income didn't grow. And why? Because of the system that's in place right now. You'll make more money this year. You'll make over 600,000 more than Joenza was making when I joined, and 6 years, 7 years later when you joined, which is crazy to think about based upon all the things that we have in place. Awesome message, bud. It's exciting to see your efforts compounded out right now, buddy.
I'm not giving nothing back.
Stay well, brother. For God's sakes, don't. I'm going to head over to Jersey, heading out west in New Jersey, doing an awesome job, living out in Ringwood, but has his office is in Lodi, New Jersey, building an incredible team, soon to be national sales director, doing national sales director numbers right now. Average, I think, 54,000 of cash flow the last 3 months, right, which is crazy, and just getting momentum going on. That is the great Carlson Sarah Salazar.
Thanks, brother. Thank you, Keith. Thank you, Empire Builders. Well, listen, I was introduced to the business by Jamie and Diana Rodriguez. I was 22 years old, going to school for finance at Rutgers University. And, I wasn't even on Jamie and Diana's top 25 list, but my stepdad was, and that's how they met me. So you never know how you're going to meet somebody. And, I was blown away when I saw Keith do the presentation. I saw the Rule of 72, and I saw the concept of business. That blew me away because I had never, ever seen the Rule of 72. So for me, the price of a license was worth it because I had spent thousands of dollars to go to college to never see the Rule of 72. So, Keith told me, listen, Carlos, if you decide to stay on my side and just follow my lead, it's a 2 to 4 year game plan for you to become a regional vice president and make a 6-figure income. And that's exactly what happened. We were 22, 26, we were making 123,000. And all I knew is college was not telling me that. And the other companies that interviewed, and I worked for corporate for BMG, when I asked them when I could make 100, Keith, their answer was, I've been here 13 years. I don't make 100. So I have no clue how to answer that question for you. And so that just reassured me that I was with the right person in the right company to go to do that. And Sarah's going to share her background.
Hey, everyone. So great to see everybody. Keith, can't wait to see you guys later. Well, I was 18 years old when I started, and that was 20 years ago. It's even insane, the fact that we can say we've been here for that long. But yes, I was 18, 20 years ago, and this company has absolutely changed our lives. I was a college student as well. I was literally at high school going into college when I got introduced to Primerica. And one of the things for me that really stood out was the fact that I love the financial education. I knew that I was going into school for art, something completely different. I mean, I was going to be drawing, and I was just drawing all day long, nothing to do with finance. I said, at least let me get this information for myself. So by the time that I, grow up, basically, because I was like, a kid back then, when I get married, have, buy a house, do all the things that grown-ups do, I want to at least have that information for myself. And that's what kept me here. Another thing is, in the very beginning, Carlos and I had no team. So whenever he would go do appointments, I would go with him. And little did I know, I was getting field trained, even though I said I would never do appointments, I would never talk to anybody. And so, Primerica has helped me just grow as a person. It's changed our lives. It's allowed us to spend so much time with our family, especially now more than ever with Zoom. It's been crazy. It's allowed us to get back re-engaged as a partnership in the field through Zoom, which I'm very, very grateful for, and it's just, our future is bright for our entire team, for the entire hierarchy. The things that are being done now is mind-blowing. Never would I have thought to see, $1 million earners are coming out like as if people are just earning their ring at this point. You know what I mean? So it's amazing the times that we're in, and we're grateful, super grateful for our leaders, the examples, the mentorship that we're getting from here, guys. And again, we just want to make everyone proud.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're excited about the team. We want to shout out. We just had Carol and Terrence and Eli get their future jerseys shipped to them. So that's exciting. You heard from Dave Kim. His base shop is rocking. He's on target to go build 100,000 base shop. So we're excited about that. He's about 70,000 away from the 4th diamond. Then we also have Marissa is like 30,000 away from the 2nd. And then Grace Kim is about 43,000 away from the 3rd. And then there's so many leaders underneath that are getting ready to explode. All the RVPs, I believe, are making moves right now. And maybe right now the numbers aren't completely showing this month, but I believe it's about to reload. In our base shop too, I know Villa and Fritch have committed to take it to a whole new level. But Keith, we're focused on new players, new legs. I just recruited from the 25-year-old child writer conversions. I just recruited one of the 25-year-olds. He's fired up. He's excited. I'll be meeting with him today via Zoom to do his fast start. And then I'm about recruiting after this call. At 1 o'clock, I got to recruit a client who got laid off and is looking for something. So we got to always retouch our current inventory. And, we started doing that in the beginning of the COVID, and then, took our foot off the gas for a couple of weeks. And so now we're going to get right back on it and bring it back up. Well, one tip that I want to give everybody, and, Keith, you always sold me on this, and I knew it from the music world. We talk about residual income. I think in today's moment, everybody right now is saying, I need to be in a business where it pays me no matter what. The reason people are hurting is because most businesses don't have residual income. In music, it's royalty. So there's only a few ways for you to make residual income. See, either you're a music artist and you get royalties. You're a famous actor and you get royalties, right? You can, have own real estate and get rental income, right? To get some, some residual. Or you could be in the investment world and have a securities license. Or you could be in a business that has a recruiting system that lets you override. But the reality is Primerica is the only company that basically does two of those. A system that lets you recruit and override, and a system that lets you have an investment license to get residuals. We're looking at our investment residuals, and we're not, the biggest in securities, but we're about 70,000 are getting ready to be at 100 just from residual recurring income. Our goal is to put it over 100 this year. So it's growing. So if you're there and you're brand new and you're wondering, is this the place? Is this not the place? If this was to happen again, no matter where you work, will you continue to get paid when you're not working? And if the answer right now is no, and if you're not a great singer, maybe you don't have a shot to be an actor, okay? Maybe you don't really own a lot of real estate and don't know how to get into it, then you better pick the last two, which is the investment world and the recruiting and building world, and you're in it. You picked it. You picked it, stick with it, fight for it, and I guarantee you it's going to pay you more than you ever could think of. It is crazy to hear what's happening. We're going to go fight for that 6th, 7th diamond before the year is out, and our goal is to be at $1 million before the convention. There's too many damn Colombians making $1 million, and I need to be one of them. So we're going to make it happen, even if I got to call my Uncle Escobar to give me some extra leads, but something's going to happen.
Hey, your Uncle Escobar was in the sales business, though, also. Hey,
and a lot of people.
You said, you just touched on something I never heard before. You said retouch our inventory, right? We got to constantly, and we talk about it, developing a market, which is our inventory, and then constantly adding. You also talked about being in the music business, right? Think about it right now. If you were a performer, there's nobody. Broadway shut down. All the concerts are shut down. Nobody's going to a concert in Madison Square Garden right now. So all that income is gone for a lot of the artists right now. You look at sporting events, right? It's going to has a little effect on advertising. There's people that are turning off the TV. They don't want to watch. It doesn't have the same effect. I have friends that go, I watch soccer, but there was no one cheering. They have the fake cheering in the background. It's totally different. People don't. They said I can't even watch it. If you're in the music business, you're an actor. They're not making a lot of movies right now because of the coronavirus, right? If you're on commercial real estate, I have friends that are losing all their buildings because people aren't paying rent as they have mortgages and taxes. And out of all the things you just mentioned, the only business that's up, not just up, but exploding up, is our business. Folks, learn from the lesson, right? Sometimes when things get affected, we don't learn from our mistakes. We got to learn from other people's mistakes. And I think like being an artist is great, singing is great, doing all that stuff is awesome. But if you want to have complete residual income, it's absolutely incredible, incredible. Great message, buddy. I appreciate that. And then Sarah, Sarah's talked about being here 20 years and all the new people now, they don't believe Primerica's for real because they don't think she's 38 years old, but it's crazy. 4 kids. It's just nuts to see what's going on in your business right now. I want to turn this over. This team is absolutely on fire, minutes away from putting on that 8th diamond, which is incredible, and then popping up to 9 and then $1 million of income. This team is doing an incredible job. I look at the numbers last month, and we talk about developing leaders. Not only did he's got a direct that makes over 1.1. They've got another direct that makes over 500,000, and a bunch of directs are doing 100, 200, just exploding. Their team has been huge growth in the last 6 months. It's just incredible to see. It couldn't happen to a better couple. That's Ray and Carol Costello.
Thank you so much, Keith. Man, this is exciting to be on this Zoom. It's just awesome. It's like a mini leadership school, and I love it. But the big thing about what's going on is we were a New York City police officer when we came on board in this company. We looked at the opportunity and we were sick and tired of being told what to do by other captains and lieutenants that would come on a crime scene that never had a crime scene, never been on a crime scene, and they were telling us what to do on a crime scene, and we were telling them how to run the organization. But we weren't a captain. They had the white shirt, the scrambled eggs on their head. They could come around and order us around. And I was sick and tired of that. And we got introduced to this great company by Roy Lipson, invited us to a meeting. And if anything we could give to any new person watching, to any new person, when you get started, you got to do something that, let me tell you something, it's so simple right now. It's ridiculous. You need to introduce your upline, sit down next to them and watch what they do on a Zoom, so you can get paid and you could build a business. The people that introduce, watch, and get paid the most will build the biggest business that is unbelievable right now. And it's a great, great time to do that. But man, I'm excited right now for the newest people on this call, the newest guys and gals. See, we've been averaging about 700 by 700, and that's awesome. However, what's great about that is the newer people that are going to build to become RVPs that build RVPs. Because, a couple of guys hit on it, passive residual income. The only way you get that is by promoting RVPs. That is the only way you build a business that continues to grow, whether you work or not, whether you show up to the office or not. I haven't been in my office in 9 months. What? That's before the virus. Yeah, right. What a problem, right? And we made more money last month in a month than I used to make in 2 years as a police officer. 2 years as a police officer. We made it in a month, okay? It's unbelievable to think about it like that, right? But I'm excited for the Lizzie and Sammys of the world because they don't got the RVP contract, but when they do, they're going to explode this daggum thing. When Diva Star gets her contract, man, get out the way. There's going to be dwarf Juanita Jackman just on, man. I've never seen anybody that wanted it so bad to become an RVP. It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. You see the things that they're doing. When I see a John Piccone Jr. on his way to RVP that is new, is just learning, and that, that just explodes. What, about 3.5, 4 years ago, we were at a leadership school and we said we were going to promote out 12 RVPs in 24 months. And we actually promoted out 14 RVPs in those 24 months. But when I was looking at the numbers and I was looking at the people and I was looking at what's happening, okay, all the RVPs in the hierarchy are going to promote at least 1, some of them 4 in the next 12 months. And when I look at what's going on, conservatively, I'm gonna try to tone it down because everybody say, Ray, you're just too excited. But let me tell you, conservatively, we're going to do in the next 12 months, we're going to promote out 50 RVPs in the hierarchy in the next 12 months. What is that going to do to some of the incomes of what's going to happen to Maya Vasquez when she's a national sales director in the next 12 months? What's going to happen to Bernard Lichter when he's in NSD? What's going to happen to John Piccone when he blows up and starts to duplicate himself? Where I think he's at like 15,000 a personal premium already. When Jerry Hernandez is an SVP, when Harold and Matrice are SVP, what's going to happen? It's just going to explode. And then you're going to get Jeanette to RVP and Flavia RVP and Natalie, my daughter, is going to be an RVP in the next 12 months. Matthew, my son's going to be an RVP in the next 12 months. I mean, Jonathan out there in Queen, it just blows my mind what's going to happen to the future. Because the future is now. The future is right now. The greatest company in the greatest country is going to explode with new people. Tori is going to be an RP. Larry Payne is going to be an RP. When I think about Kelly in New York, going to be an RP. Man, it just name after name. As I was looking at the numbers, looking at the names, I don't got enough paper to write the daggum names down of who's going to be RP in the next 12 months. It's just unbelievable. Jonathan out there in Long Island is going to be an RP. Kenny Trotter, who's a doctor. He's a doctor. Averages $4,000 to $5,000 in income part-time in primary. He's a doctor. Doctor. Unbelievable. Veronique's going to be an RP. Bree's going to be an RP. When I think of Ronnie Council's going to be an unbelievable RP. And then you got Joey Morales going to be an SVP. Orville Rich is going to be an SVP. Colby's going to be an SVP. Dwight and Nikki. I mean, they're just going to explode. Donna is going to be a national sales director. It's just going to be unbelievable. And that's just the beginning. That's in the next 12 months. I've been around 25 years. I was a cop. Carol ran a hair salon. I want to let her tell her what she did because I don't want to take because then she starts complaining to me that I didn't get a chance to talk. I was too excited. But I want to transfer, give it over to Carol. Let her tell her a little bit about herself because, man, it's unbelievable. The RVPs, they're going to just explode. Chris H. Harvey, I mean, it's just unbelievable. Carol?
Good morning. Guys, obviously we're very excited about the opportunity and what this opportunity has brought about for us. I was a hairdresser. I had my own business. I was self-employed before we got started in this business. And just so you know that all that activity that Ray's talking about is coming from the front end of the business, recruiting, bringing new people on board, showing them the process, showing them the system and how to become successful in business. And it's so true. There is no opportunity like our opportunity. I mean, we've been here for 25 years, and obviously all the leaders you heard before you have been here for some time because obviously it works. And for those of you that are new out there, even though sometimes you might talk to a friend or a cousin or a niece that might say to you, well, I don't know if that's going to work for you. Obviously it does because you have a panel of people that are talking before you, sharing with you their experience and their growth in business. And it's phenomenal because if you just give yourself the time to learn the business and what could happen now, Ray just mentioned all these people that are going to go to the next level and go into NSD, SNSD, RVP. And we're just so excited for so many of the people. I mean, we have a young lady that was in the business for a little bit and, came back. And it's so funny. She's sitting there continuously competing with me. I'm going to beat your personal numbers this month. I'm like, go for it. Her name is Priscilla McKinney. And I'm so excited for her because she's just getting after it. But guys, one of the things is listen to your coaches, listen to your mentors. They have the best interest for you. And we thank God when we asked Roy Lipson, what do we need to do? And he said, just go bring some people. And that's what we did. And that's what has actually come to the head of what our opportunity is today. So let's get after it. Let's go make it happen. But thank you so much, Keith, for everything you do.
Thank you, Carol. I love that message, both you and Ray. And it's exciting. Ray's got to definitely get a little bit more excited. And I want to call you. I'm going to call you later because I want to figure out why you haven't let Ray in the office since December. All right, which is crazy. He's on suspension right now from the office. But it's crazy to think what's going on in your business right now. I remember you guys getting up at a leadership school saying we're going to produce 12 RVPs in the next 24 months. And people kind of laughed. They didn't laugh at you, but they kind of said to themselves, yeah, okay, here's Ray just being excited again. And not only did you guys do that, like you said, you guys blew through that. Why? Because you worked together, you started expanding in different locations, and you both were involved and engaged in the game, and you guys are a great partnership of what it takes to build this company. Great message. You also talked about people reconnecting, right? Just because people weenie out and leave Primerica, there's so many people that come back. There's so many people that we can get back into this business. Why do people leave? They lose sight of the opportunity and they think there's bigger and better out there when they realize they get beat up in the real world. We're still here, man. Great message, Kyle. Appreciate that. Stay well. Let me head over to Brooklyn. Actually, you know what? Before we go to Brooklyn, let me start. I'm in the Marriott Glen Point / Teaneck office. I remember when this building went up. A couple people in the office today. Not everybody's at their house. We got people in the office today. This place is packed with social distancing. But I do want to pass it over. This team's absolutely on fire, and the growth and what's happening right now. And this team just gave out another jersey today, a future jersey, which was exciting. But this team, recruiting's up, premiums up, cash flow's up, attendance is up. Let me head over to $1 Million Earners, number 99 in the company, Glenn and CEO.
Hey, Keith, thank you so much. And to all, first of all, thank you for hosting this awesome event, and to all the Empire Builders. And it's so cool to just look across the screen. And I started here when I was 18, and so many of my heroes are on here. You know, I look at Joe Cardino, I look at Roy Lipson. I don't know where I'd be without you guys. I look at Eddie Austin's, the impact that you've had on Glenn and I, we just absolutely love you. Huge congratulations to, oh, and Ray Costello, by the way, Ray and Carol, love you guys. Thank you. The beautiful Carol looking all gorgeous over there. And the impact that you guys have had on
Ray
us
too.
and Shelly, Tony and Shelly, you know, you guys are just absolutely amazing and you just keep raising the bar. Huge congratulations to the A unit team. I know you guys fought so hard, and Chris A. Chung on just hitting that milestone. We're just proud to be in business with you guys. Definitely have to give a huge shout out to the Dragons. I absolutely love you guys. And I'm gonna turn it over to my awesome husband. And Keith, thank you so much for being the leader that you are. We definitely appreciate you. And I'm gonna turn it over to my baby.
Okay. Okay, cool. No, stay here, stay here.
Okay.
She wants to, see.
Hold on, stay here, CO, stay there, because I'm using CO's office.
Well, the reason why she's here is to make me look good, okay? So, anyway, yes, that's right. Okay, so let me cover a couple things. But thank you, Keith, for always being around. Thank you for the great meeting this morning. I mean, you are a powerhouse that continues, you know, regardless of what income level you're at, you know, regardless of what milestones you hit. I mean, you're always there for not just us, but everybody on this call. And that's why none of us right now can stop doing what we're doing, because you keep continuing raising that lid. Okay, so I just wanted to congratulate Tony Ann, Kevin Rivera, Afia Ricks, Eddie and Nesme. Those are our next 4 regional vice president couples going out right now, you know, hitting 30, 40, 50 recruits a month. You know, just the top 5 regional vice presidents on the Dragons right now. Magda, Nora, I mean, you guys are cranking it, just got your ring. Mikey and Zenny, just going for that second diamond. Alex and Sarah, just a couple dollars away from that second diamond. Jimmy and Eileen obviously hit that milestone last month, and Marquise and Eveline always leading our team with personal production and leading by example, you know. But just 5 things, you know. I think the moment you join Primerica, if you're brand new, you know, we go against the grain, okay? And I was talking about this earlier on, but we go against the grain. Nothing that we do is normal. Nothing. Look at all the businesses that are out there right now that are hurting, you know, and you know what, the same businesses that when we told our family that we were starting a business, they go, that's not a real business. This is a real business. And they'll point at a restaurant, or they'll point at a retail store, and they point at a physical structure when all we had was really just our backpack, you know, just our folders and right now we have our iPads, and people don't think that we have a real business. But guys, we're running a business. We're building a franchise in this thing. We're building a legacy to leave our family down the road. And I'm talking about all of us right now, you know. So we go against the grain. If we didn't, we would be a broke business right now, just like every other business that's out there right now. Okay. But think about this, the income levels of people in Primerica, I mean, that's against the grain. What other company grew 20, 30%? You know, during this pandemic, like Primerica did, you know, besides Zoom, right? But that's because all Primericans are using Zoom right now. That's why Zoom grew, okay? All the hundreds of thousands of people out there. But buy term, invest the difference. Other companies don't do that out there. Think about it. We start mutual fund trades for $25, $50 a month. What other company does that? See, that's against the grain, right? And so everything we do is against the grain. So just because I remember when I joined the business 20 years ago, making $10 an hour, you know, I didn't understand everything that was going on. Right? I didn't understand. But just because we don't understand it, that doesn't mean it doesn't work, right? Just because our families don't understand it, that doesn't mean it doesn't work. You know, what I understood at that time kept me broke, you know, and so our understanding, sometimes we got to change the way we understand things, right? Find something new to believe in. Second thing is, this is a 6 to 12 month game plan. I've always heard Keith Otto talk about, you know, RVP is a 6 to 12 month game plan, but making the decision to get to RVP is the time waster. You know, I mean, there's like, it took me 2.5 years to make a decision to really go for RVP. Now, if you asked me when I first put my paperwork in, you know, where would we be? I would say, yeah, RVP, making $1 million a year. You know, so that we all say that and we all want that, but have we made a decision to go do the things necessary to get there, right? And so I think also we got to lighten up a little bit, you know, lighten up, because a lot of times, like especially myself, I'm talking to myself right now, okay? But it might take us a while to learn this thing, right? But just because it's going to take us a while to learn this thing, we're still learning this thing right now. If you listen to Keith is still talking about this is the beginning of his career, even though he's where he is right now, right? He's still learning. He's still seeking knowledge. He's still getting better, you know. And it's crazy because doesn't matter how long you've been here. If you've been here one day or 10 years or 20 years or 30 years, we're getting better every day. So sometimes we need to lighten up, but also at the same time, just because it takes a while doesn't mean we can't make income in the meantime. Doesn't mean because we have people. The greatest thing about joining Primerica is the fact that we inherited a great upline. Is the fact that we inherited somebody that cares about our success. See, I don't care if you open up a restaurant right now, who can you go to for advice? What are you going to open up a book? You know, you can't go to the next restaurant. They want to put you out of business, right? So when we're in this business, we're talking about having the ability, plugging in, even though we don't know what we're doing yet, we have people that have a financial interest in us, which once we understood that was the greatest thing that we ever got in this business. But think about this, you don't have to wait till you learn everything, right? Think about it, before you drink water, Keith was giving a lesson on water today, right? But while you're drinking that water, right, you're not thinking, man, you know, before I drink this water, what type of bacteria is in there, right? Is there chlorine in there? What type of nutritional value is in there? We just drink water because we're thirsty, right? A lot of times, you know, if given an opportunity, stop questioning everything. You're going to learn everything, you know, but given an opportunity, just move. Someone's got a financial interest in us, right? And common sense, okay? Next thing is we got to have a sense of urgency, right? A sense of urgency is like when we joined, we were 23 years old. So initially my thought process is I'm still young. Right? I'm still young, right? Why don't I just hang around for a couple of years and maybe get this thing going? But you know what? One of the reasons why we decided to keep moving in this business was retire our parents. So just because we're young doesn't mean the people we care about are getting any younger, right? And so we got to have that sense of urgency. It's that survival instinct, right? In our business is that sense of urgency. Let's close today. If I could close today, let me close today. If I could recruit that person today, let me recruit that person today, right? I'm not going to wait till next week. I'm not going to wait till a month from now. Let me close it today. And the last thing is, you know, keep dreaming bigger. You know, what I love about Primerica is the fact that our uplines keep growing. The leaders on here keep growing, right? I take a look at all the leaders, and like CEO talked about, our heroes in this business. You know, I look at Bill Bajaki and looks like he's out hunting right now, you know, but it's crazy, right? It's crazy how many people in this business are always continuing to grow at all different levels, right? But you got to dream bigger, and as big as you're thinking right now, think bigger. As fast as you think you want to get it done, do it faster. You know, always see, we got to always increase the prize. Keep putting yourself around people like a Keith Otto, like a Raymond Costello, right? Ray and Carol, like a Cardino, right? Like a Chris Achong. Put yourself in the shoes of those people, be around them. So your prize, when the prize goes up, right? The price is immaterial. So we got to make sure that we got to continue growing the prize, keep reading books, keep going out there and looking at nice homes, go drive a nice car, right? And so we just got to make sure that we continue thinking bigger than ever before, you know, and once again, we go against the grain, guys. Don't worry about what other people are thinking about, because they don't know what you're part of. So thank you, Keith, for always being there, and thank you for always continue to move.
Thanks, brother. Great message. I love it. I love it. It's exciting to see what you guys have going on right now. And just another example of a partnership. You know, it is crazy how people look at Primerica as, is this really a business? And the hardest thing that we have to do is, because we don't have a ton of overhead. Think about it. None of us have really used our office for 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and yet our business didn't skip a beat. Now we're going to start utilizing our offices again. Some people are going back this month. Some people are going back next month. But what we've realized is, you know, NC used to talk all about all the time, you got to be a student, you got to be mobile. And that's exactly what you guys are, which is why your business is growing, which is crazy, averaging over $100,000 a month of cash flow, which still freaks me out thinking about that, you know, and more importantly, where we're going in the next 6 months to a year. By the time we hit the convention, there's a bunch of you on this phone that are going to grow your income 30, 40, 50%. I just want to recognize, I want to see if I could share my screen. I just want to recognize with the players on the phone. And, you know, we went through some of the numbers and I went through the cash flow, but I want to go check this out, guys, real quick. Because, you know, Ray Costell said it's like a little mini leadership school. So we just want to recognize all the players. These are just base shop. This is not hierarchy. This is not personal numbers. These are just base shop numbers. But when you look at top base shops, right? Ray and Carol, this is for the 90-day period. That's averaging over 20,000 in the base. Escobar, 68,000. Look at some of these players and the growth that's happening right now. This is, you know, 25, 30,000, $1,000 a month averaging of premium in the base shops. You know, Grace Kim, Marissa Prior, the Baptiste, Cordell Bryan, Mike and Zenny Aponte averaging over 30,000. Paul Cantanzari, David and Joyce, Eileen and Jimmy averaging over 40,000 in premium in the base. Top 5 in the base shop for the last 90 days. Mervin and Zulia, 135. Harvey Grajales, 182. Fritz and Tiki, 185. A-Chung, 278. Glenn and Co, 296. And number 1 in the Empire Builders, because there's only one number 1, is 440,000, is the Narains, Tony and Shelly Narain in their base shop. When you look at top base shop recruiting, right? Tavares, these are people averaging over 20 recruits a month in the base shop, which is awesome. You know, people that are growing, this is 25 recruits a month in the base shop, averaging over 25. Sheldon and Jeanette, Magda and Nora, Ray and Carol Costello, Alex and Sarah, Ryan and Rebecca Watson, Donna and Mike Fikes, 99 recruits, averaging 99 recruits, and the license are more than 1, right? So when you look at that, you guys know that song, right? And so when you look at this, Alertes, 104, Grace Kim, 104, Marissa Prior, 113, Mike and Zenny Aponte, 15, 115, Howard and Matrice, 115. These are 3 months. This is what these guys used to do in a year. They're doing in 90 days. The Narains, 116, Doris and Danny, 116, Fritz and Tiki, 119, Cantanzari's, 153, averaging over 50 recruits in the base. Top 5, look at these numbers, 161, the Boones. Jimmy and Eileen, 209. David and Joyce, 218. A-Chung, 250. Glenn and Co, 328 recruits, averaging over 100 recruits a month in the base. And there's only one number 1 with 339 recruits, right? Averaging 113 recruits a month. Harvey Grajales, which is where the RVP promotions came from, the SVP promotions. And then when you look at top base shop licenses. Now this is way low in comparison to the numbers. Why? Because of the pandemic, and a lot of the schools were closed. But now, because of the bonuses that the company put in place, you're going to get paid. Some of you are going to get 10 and 15 and 20. You'll get more licenses. A lot of these base shops will get more licenses this month than they did the last 90 and 120 days. But these are the top base shop licenses. Congratulations on that, with over 5 and 6, doing an awesome job. And then you got people right now, the top 5, look at these numbers. 8 licenses, Harold Matrice, A-Chung 8, Vicario 9, Glenn and Co 13, Harvey Grajales 13. And there's only one number 1, Alex and Sarah, with 14 licenses in the base shop. Now it says 13.5, but it shows up as 14 licenses. And then securities producers, which is incredible. When you look at the top security producers, Tony and Shelly Rain, this is for 90 days, right? Jim and Elisa Hicks, $1 million, right? Maggie Padilla, 1.4, Diebendorf, 1.4, Piccone, 1.6, Vicaro, 1.7, Ted and Tracy, 1.8. This is securities invested in a crisis right now, which is unbelievable, but that's leadership. And there's only one number 1, 2.1, Diane Triol, doing an awesome job. So when you look at that, guys, there's some tremendous growth that's happening in the base shops right now and in the hierarchies. I also want to recognize we got some future RVPs. I don't have it set. We got the report a little bit late, but listen to these numbers, which is incredible. When you look at the top base shops, now these are recruits in the base shop. Oh, shoot, hold on one second. Top recruiting base shops. And so I'm going to go through, if you look at the Cantanzari base shop with 50. Now this is Jared and Ingrid Barrios, future VPs, 50 recruits over the last 60 days, right? Which is 60 days, which is incredible. Vanessa Bustamante, Eddie and Esmeralda Huezo, and you look at 55 recruits. Andrew Clark with the Boones, Shannon Woolery, 63 with the Boones, with Alerte, Samuel Lasenia Nunez with 70 recruits. Kevin Rivera with Jimmy and Eileen with 92 recruits in 60 days, which is incredible. And number 1 in the hierarchy, future RVPs with 95 recruits, working with Glenn and Co is Tony, doing an awesome job, right? She's killing it right now. And so when you look at base shop premiums, future RVPs, Jimmy and Eileen have Giovanni and Jennifer Montiel, Renee I can't say it. Sawadago with H-Chung. The Nunez's with Alertes. The Wezos with Aponte, which is awesome. Jared and Ingrid with the Contanzri, 36,000 a premium in the base shop. Andrew Clark with Boone with 40,000 a premium. Shannon Woolry with the Boone base shop with 45,000. Future RVPs averaging over 15,000 a premium. Kevin Rivera with 46,000. And there's only one number one averaging 64,000 with over 20,000 a personal. And that's Tony Ann doing an awesome job. Give her a hand, which is incredible. And then we got licenses. Check this out, future RVP licenses. Doing a great job with 3. Andrew Clark, Vanessa Bustamante, Shannon Woolery, Mark and Sandy Velopoli with Salerno, Candice Crespo with Vicario, Renee with Saladaga with H-Chung, and then with 4 licenses, Tony Ann with 6 licenses, with David Kim, Albert Espinel, Sammy and Lisenia Nunez with 6, and number 1 in future RVPs with 8 recruits. 8 licenses in the last 60 days. Alex and Sarah Isaacson, Veronica A. Garcia, Robert Garcia doing an awesome job. And then top security producers, future RVP. You don't have to be an RVP to do securities. It's incredible when you look at the top securities. With Harvey Grajales, 408,000 is Adarimi Dasun. I apologize.
Don't worry about it.
I don't know how to pronounce that, all right? How do you say their name, Harvey?
I don't say it. I just say Remy.
You know, me either. Watch your mouth. Adarimi, right? And then Keith and Rachel Mason with Conowitz with 449,000. Vanessa Bustamante with Triola with 456,000. Bart Deshario with Vaccaro, 884,000. With Mike Buchanan, 884,000. And number 1 from our base with 972,000 with Uzil Payat leading the team. Guys, these are special times right now when you look at what's happening. Oh, I didn't mean to share that, but I did. Hold on 1 second. Let me come back like this. Let me unshare. Hold on. Awesome. It's crazy to see what's happening in the hierarchy right now. I just gave you some numbers of future RVPs that were doing what RVPs were doing 12 and 24 months ago, guys. And so the numbers are absolutely incredible. This team blew it through the roof in 51 or 52 days. Chris H-Chung's cash flow, because the team rallied behind it, right? He worked his ass off, but his team rallied behind it. Chris H-Chung went from 800,000 to 900,000 to $1 million to 1.1 million in less than 60 days. Blew me away. And I saw the party that they had down in Mexico. I did not get the invite. I just want to let you know that. All right. But I saw the party that was down in Mexico, and some of that stuff looked illegal, which was awesome. And I don't know how he got back in the country with some of that stuff. There's 6 women that are pregnant because of the way you guys are dancing on that yacht, which is crazy. But he did an all-inclusive, took care of the team, gave back, absolutely incredible, building a tremendous leadership team. And the company's so proud of this guy. Number 100 in the company, Mr. Chris H-Chung.
Hey, Coach. Thank you, man. We are absolutely fired up, man. There's so much happening in the business. My voice is sore.
Why? Why is your voice sore?
We're still going, man. We're trying to get it back together. Numbers dropped a little bit, but that's what happens when you try to celebrate so much, you know. But the business is the business. We woke up this morning and I threw up. Thinking about the uncomfortableness that that some of my RVPs are going through, and some of the RVPs on this team is going through. Just a message for the leaders, because what we have is we're always in a cocoon that everyone always protects us. And no one tells us the way it really is. And the fact is, we just had, there's 2 ways to look at it. There's a positive way and there's a negative way. We've learned how to use negative things and use it as motivators, not as demotivators. Okay. You look at, and if you're not uncomfortable by this, something's wrong with you. You're not, you don't have it all up there, but this morning I turned on the computer, about 4:30 this morning when I woke up, because whenever my number's down, I can't sleep past 5 o'clock. Some people can, but I just can't. And I'm knowing RVPs at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm texting district leaders at 6 o'clock in the morning. I go all white on rice. Okay. So that's what's going on right now in hierarchy. Mika San is 6 years, 1 month in the business, went over $1 million. So if I'm an RVP and I've been here longer than that. And I'm saying this to make you uncomfortable. I'm not saying this to make you cozy, okay? We need to make sure we fix that, okay? And so the question you got to ask yourself is, what did Mika do that I don't do? What did Mika, you know, because a lot of times we learn how to do Primerica, but then we're not practicing what we learn. And so as leaders, then you know, what we kind of do is make the opportunity to look a little bad. But the fact is, you know, she's an example of why this opportunity is so great, okay? And they let old guys like me too, when I say old guys, we've been here 23 going on 24 years, get the million too, but 24 years to get the million versus 6. We just had Miguel, and you know, was having a conversation this morning with my leaders. What did she do differently, and what are some of the things, some of the attributes she had that got over $1 million? That's the question you got to ask yourself. And what do you lack in, and what do you got to, you know, do more? I mean, obviously she was focused. There was a lot of accountability that happened with her. A lot of people in base shops, you know, especially you districts and divisions, you stop being accountable. You're not even an RVP yet. You know, you become uncoachable. You know, so she had to be coachable. She had to cheerlead systems. You know, sometimes we forget the cheerlead systems. You know, as districts and divisions and even RVPs. You know, we're not deleting distractions in our life. We're still living a life with so much distractions. You know, we don't maintain excitement. I fight with my RVPs all the time because some of them hold in their excitement. And I go, this is not a hold in your excitement business. This is, you got to let out your excitement business. This is a visible excitement business, not internal excitement business. Okay. You know, maybe we're bad examples. Okay. All a bad example could do is duplicate a bad example. Work ethic, you know, some of us lack work ethic. Work ethic is the only way to build, you know, we talk about two kind of businesses, a big business or healthy business, okay? What you want to do is you want to have both. You want to have a big and a healthy business, not just a big business and not just a healthy business. Like I have a healthy business, but it ain't big. It's small, it's tiny, it's scary, okay? I looked at Miguel, just went over $1 million. Miguel has a big business and a healthy business. Granted, you know, most businesses that are big, they're healthy, but some of them are big that's not healthy. And that has a lot to do with the leaders and their work ethic. So there's no work ethic to follow. So if I got 5 guys that have work ethic, they can duplicate that into 20 or 30 guys that got work ethic, okay? And, you know, the RVPs in the A unit hierarchy, they're doing an incredible job at work ethic. They wrote half of the premium for me to go to $1 million. From the kindness of their heart, they wrote 270-something of 520,000 for us to go to $1 million. So they're going after it. Some of them are getting their butt kicked now. You know, most of the RVPs are going after. There's about 4 of them in the hierarchy that haven't promoted a leader, Keith. I'm not going to say their names, but I'm under like white on rice. They haven't promoted a new district leader, some of them since they went to RVP, you know, which is scary. You know, and I'm paying attention to that this morning, cussing, because I cuss every morning. A positive person, by the way. Okay, I learned how to do positively. You know, and then there's 3 of them that's fighting right now. Keith, this is the most fun show, and I love them all. Like you love all your kids, but you know, all those at 156,000, going for 200. You know, Sheldon and Cordell and Candace is at 157,000, and Sheldon and Jeanette is at you know, 158. So 56, 156, 157, 158. They're going crazy. Like who's going to go over 200,000 first? This whole call is 600 plus people on this call, all waiting to see who's going to be the next one to go over 200,000. Okay, we're so, and then we're looking at who's going to be the next RVP that's going to promote an RVP. Harvey hogged it up. You know, like I would be uncomfortable if I was one of my RVP. He promoted the last 3 RVPs. Like who's going to promote an RVP? I had a conversation with Fritz and their team. They made a decision that they're not going to let that happen. You know, not forever. He can't be the only one that's promoting RVPs because you're really not an RVP till you promote an RVP. You know, so we're getting fired up, coach. There's so many things to happen, but there's so many leaders in this phone that I challenge you. This hierarchy needs to move a lot more. And we can't be doing things that are not building our business. We got to get, you know, I don't care how you do it. You could do it perfect, or you could do it however, but just build, okay? You don't have to be rough around the edges like I am, but just go build and, you know, and do something special, man, because this freedom thing, to be able to spend 150 racks, we'll tell you what racks is later, 150 racks on your team is the most unbelievable feeling. I'll get it back, who cares, it's just money. Money comes, money goes, but the business is there that's going to continuously send money in and send money, so this thing is going to the next level. We're excited. We love all you guys on the phone, especially a lot of you guys that have been around forever. You've taught us a lot and helped us grow up in the business, and we appreciate you, Coach. Thank you.
Well, we appreciate the example you guys set, man. Your team absolutely dominated. I said it, and I said it as soon as this pandemic happened, coronavirus and COVID-19, all we heard on the news. And I said, there's going to be a huge separation, not just in the company, but in this hierarchy. And you're one of the teams that absolutely exploded and was a great example. And like you said, your businesses, you took every leader away. Well, all the leaders can't be away. And it did, but I know you guys are going to, in the next 10 days, are going to absolutely kill it and get back, dominate. All you did was you sharpen your axe. You can't work 100 miles an hour and not relax. You got to take a little bit of time, 5 minutes, and then get back in the game. And that's what you guys are doing. So I'm excited to see how we finish up this month and watch you go to 1-2, 1-3, 1-4, 1-5, buddy. Great example, great message. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
I'm going to head over to wrap up this call this morning. Had a chance to spend some time with this team last week. Danielle and I flew in on Friday so we could be at their house on Saturday up in Connecticut. After training, we drove up there and spent the evening at their beautiful home up in Connecticut with their leadership team out in their backyard by their beautiful pool. What they did to that house is incredible. And what blew me away is my wife says, there's so many people here. I don't know half these people. I said, I don't know them either. The Narain team is reinventing and not rebuilding, but reloading their base shops. And it's exciting to see what's happening. 2 RVP promotions from the back of their house, which we've never done RVP promotions in someone's house, in the back of their house, which was awesome. And I'm going to turn this over to the great Tony and Shelly Narain.
Good morning, everyone. Well, Keith, it's a special time right now, and it's a huge separation of what's going to happen. We're so proud of the team. We're going to have a incredible month this month. We would triple our recruiting numbers in the hierarchy. We would triple our licensing. We would triple premium. We would triple income. We would triple investment. And all the RVPs is totally sold out on licensing and promote RVPs. We have 38 RVPs right now, going to definitely finish up with 50 in all the hierarchies. And we have such a unique business. We have people that build it on residual and securities. We have people that build it on recruiting. We have people that build it on premium. But it don't matter how you build it. It's just that you gotta just build it day by day, and we have 5 to 6 people going to put on the ring in the next 2 months. We have Dr. Ish going to put on the ring. We have Marsha going to put on the ring. We have Cynthia going to put on the ring. We have Gardy that get promoted too. He's going to put on the ring. You have Paul and Pascal going to put on the ring, and so much more people going to put on the ring. And it's in our base. We just looking for the people that's going to respond and want to get to RVP. Who's going to build those 7 legs, and who's going to sign that contract in the month of November, December, and just do something so special this year. And we just so tremendously happy and grateful for the business. There's so much stuff come your way and so much clients. You see, we have so much successful clients, and it's amazing how all the business just went down to nothing, and it's sad. And I don't know how we can't wake up every day and appreciate what we got. I was telling somebody, as long as we could do it, why don't we do it? We already saved over 500,000 so far this year. We're going to save 1.2 million this year. We just write the last check for the mall that we own. And this is not about money. This is about who we could help to get over that 300,000, who we could help to get over that 500,000. And I tell you, Keith, I am so proud of Guada and Jerry and all those guys, Betty, because I am hammering them every morning. I am hammering. It's 24 hours. Did you get a recruit? It's 24 hours. Who did you help? And I know right now they're not going to like me, but we're going to do this 500 by 500, and we're taking this thing to the next level. And we're gonna make you so stinking proud. Ending of the month, what's gonna happen in the next 10 days? It's gonna be unbelievable. We put in up all our time and energy. For some reason, Tony convinced me to go to Cape Cod with him tomorrow. I hope we're not going to see a beach house. I hope not. I'm gonna turn you over to him.
Hey guys, I had to tell Shelly the Zoom started at 12 so I can get some camera time. Right. But you know, I was a real estate broker before Primerica, and if we were still in the real estate business, instead of getting paid over 400,000 last 90 days, we would have got paid zero because they would have shut our business down. And you know, it's just a testament to the business that we're in. And you know, I was looking back, our first year in Primerica, we got paid $2,900, and I did the math. With today's compensation, we would have got paid $4,100. Well, not a big deal, but our fifth year, we got paid $530, and with today's comp, it would have been $980,000. So it just goes to show that the opportunity today, how much better it is for the brand newest person. And you know, it's amazing that you know, our job is to convince people that they need to make more income. And it's just amazing that, you know, it's people, they have all these problems, but what they don't realize that their solution is just making more income. Because most of the people we deal with on a daily basis, if they just made more money, it would solve most of the problems that they're in, right? So it's the things we have to do on a daily basis. It's sometimes it's so simple, it becomes complicated. So if we just recruit, field train, license, and promote, and keep it that simple, we'll make a fortune. Thank you, Keith.
Thank you, guys. I love the message from both of you, and it's just exciting to see, Tony, the party you guys have for your leaders was incredible, and the new players that are coming through that can copy and watch what you're doing. And yet you're still out there financially independent, still out there leading from front. I looked at the numbers today. I think you're over 40,000 of personal production, and you haven't left your house to do appointments. Like, how crazy is this, right? That if you were still in the real estate business, like you said, we wouldn't have the same opportunity. You can work hard, but not in the same vehicle. And it's just awesome watching your efforts compound out. It's crazy to think where your team will be, the next levels of leaders that are coming through the process in the next 12 months. Thanks for your time, brother. I appreciate that. Hey guys, just in wrapping up, great message, guys. Just in wrapping up, I want to thank all the Empire Builders, and there's so many other leaders that we don't have a chance to go to. Or if you look at the panelists, all the $100,000 plus earners, which is a portion of the team right now. But as we close, I want you to take this personal, right? One of the things you want to do is focus on this. Double-digit recruiting, not just double-digit recruiting, but produce double-digit recruiting legs this month. Licenses. Take it personal this month. How many licenses are you going to get direct to you? How many base shop licenses you can have? Some of you on this phone are going to do double-digit licensing. Some of you already double-digit licensed so far for the month. The numbers I announced before are licensings. That did not include the month of August, okay? That was May, June, and July. Make sure you're growing attendance as we start heading back to our offices. And don't make people feel unsafe. People that want to plug in a Zoom, that's fine. People want to plug in, but I've gotten a bunch of calls from guys in our base shop that want to go back to live meetings, going back from the Zoom to the room. So we got to grow attendance. How many people did you have on this call? How many people did you have plugged into training today? Plus, we got people that aren't on this call that plugged in on YouTube, right? Qualified production. Let's make sure we're focusing on qualifying up. I went through a bunch of numbers of future RVPs that are doing 20 by 20 and 30 by 30. Folks, these are not special times right now. We've got to grow and explode through the numbers. You know, Mika Saunders went from where she was at to over 1 million. Miguel Illich, why? Because they exploded through the numbers, and that's exactly what's happening with the players on this call. District promotions. That's what you heard the leaders talking about, promoting districts, right? One of the things A-Chung talked about that he was concerned about is we got leaders that haven't promoted a district this month. Forget about this quarter or this year. This month, you got to take it personal. Who are you getting to district this month? Who are you recruiting this month that you're going to sprint to district and get them on an accelerated program? And then RVP promotions. If you're not a vice president right now, don't let this year go by that you don't get that RVP contract. And if you're going to get the RVP contract, get the future jersey so you're maxing out your compensation. If you're an RVP on this call, who are you promoting this year? Who are you working with? Who are you taking under your wing? Who are you taking through? Like Billy Bajakin said, borrow our confidence, borrow our experience, borrow our systems. And all you got to do is put the time and energy. It's impossible to fail. It's time for us. Everyone on this phone, it's time for us to go to the next level. How many more people have to not just grow, but explode in this awesome company, in this awesome hierarchy? It's time for us to take our business to the next level. Proudly made business with you guys. Let's go build an empire. Have an awesome month.
Great job, KO, all the leaders.
Thank you.
Thanks, Keith.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks to all of you.
Thanks, Keith.
Thank you, Keith. Thanks, Keith.
Hey, Joe, is the park open yet?
Coach. Great
Thanks,
job.
KO.
Thank you.
Hey, Joe, do you have the day pass?
Yes, I do. I have them for you, but there's a height requirement, Billy.
Is it the fast pass?
Yeah, the backlog looks bad, brother.
All right, it's time to get off the ride, Joe. You've been on It's a Small World too long now.